let that sax speak. Ooh, let that sax speak. Ooh, let that sax speak. Ooh, let that sax speak.
Welcome back to Sax With Shad, where we make that sax speak. Welcome back to Sax With Shad. Today we're going to be covering Muni Love, Made for Me, okay? This is in the key of G, which should come up under the screen right now, okay? It's in the key of G. So those notes are G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, and G, okay? Here's how those notes sound together. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this Made for Me. It's a very popular song, but actually it's not really that hard to play on sax if you know the notes, okay? So go on. This is section 1 right here. I'm at section 1, okay? Let's do it. Da, 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 da. All right, so the first part is that the smell of your perfume, so the da 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 da, okay? And those notes are D, C, B, A, B, okay? So you play D, C, B, A, B, okay? Very nice line, okay? Here's how that sounds on the saxophone. Okay, so it's D, C, B, A, B, okay? Also, you can put just a little bit of inflection on that last note, on that B. Okay, so D, C, B, A, B, okay? All right, moving on. Section 2, section 2. Okay, so da 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 da. Okay, so that's D, C, B, A, A. Okay, and you hit the A twice. Okay, so D, C, B, A, A. So almost straight down like the scale going from D to A. So D, C, B, A, A. Okay, and here's how that sounds on the sax. Okay, so D, C, B, A, A. Make sure you play that right after you get done with the first part. And we just moving on through the sections, y'all. So if you got that, you got the first part, 2 parts of the song. Then let's go to section 3. All right, so pretty much kind of doing what the first part did again. You have 2 Ds this time, though. So you have D, D, then you have C, B, A, B. It should be right underneath the screen. D, D, C, B, A, B. Okay? And here's how those sound played together. Okay, so make sure you hit the D, D first. Da, 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 da. Okay, so D, D, C, B, A, B. Okay, just like this. Okay, going on to the next part. Section 4, section 4. All right, so do 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 do. Okay, so you got a few more notes here. Okay, so you got the D, D, C, B, A, B. So that's going to be your D, D, C, B, A, B. But now we got D, E, D. Okay, now we got to drop down low to the D, E, D. Okay, and that's going to give us that last moon like you. You understand? All right. So D, D, C, B, A, B, D, E, D. Okay. Sounds like this on the sax. Okay, you want to go down. Make sure that lower register, you want to seal that part. Doom, doom, doom. Real nice and smooth, okay? Moving on. Section 5. And actually, this is kind of just going back to the top, so it's repeating itself. Same part right there. And D, D, C, B, A, B. Again, this is how that sounds on the saxophone. Same part. D, D, C, B, A, B. If you get comfortable with it, you can just shoot it right out. Next, section 6. Okay, so now we just repeating, okay? That does what the first section did, okay? And somewhere in the first section. And we go in D, D, C, B, A, A, okay? So da-da, which is D, D, C, B, A, A, D, 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 C, B, A, A, okay? And this is how that sounds on the sax. Okay, just real nice and smooth. These are only just a couple notes, but y'all see it. It only takes a couple notes to make up whatever song you're playing. These songs, a lot of times, are not made up of a lot of notes. It's just the way that you play them, and you've pretty much learned the song. Okay. All right, moving on to section 7. Section 7. Okay, so ba 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 da da da. Okay. Okay, hold on and make sure I got a correction. Let me go back a little bit. Let me go back, make sure I can hear the first note so I can hear how that went. Okay? All right. Okay, so we have to change part. Ba-da. Okay. All right, so what we're going to be doing here in section 7 is we're going to be dropping down. Okay? So we're going to drop down and we're going to go to our low D, E, and then we're going to go C, B, A, G. So it's D, E, C, B, A, G. Okay? D, E, C, B, A, G. Okay? And those are your notes. Okay? So you're just going D, E, C, B, A, G. Here's how they sound together on the sax. Okay? Sometimes it's good to put just a little bit of grace. If you go up from your B flat to your B, you'll put a grace note on that B natural, and it'll come off like a little bit more smooth, jazz-like, if you like that sound. So it'll come off. Also, if you put a grace going to A from B flat, it'll come off like that again. Okay, it'll kind of come off just like a little smooth jazz if you like that sound. But if not, you can just play it regular. However you want to play it, or whatever comfortable for you. Play it to make it comfortable for you. You can work on all that other stuff, but you have to make sure that it's comfortable for you so that you can play it. If you're going to mess up, you have to work on that to get your muscle memory. But you can always play it exactly how it's written below the screen, which is D, E, C, B, A, G. That'll work just fine. All right. Go into section 8. Down. Down, down. All right, so you got A, that is that twin or whatever. It's just A. That's your note. A. Then you got D, E, D, A. Drop down on that D again. D, E, D, A. So you got A, right? Then you got D, E, D, A. That's what you got, okay? So again, it's A. Then it's D, E, D, A. Okay? Here's how it sounds on sax. You play it just like that, you'll be just fine, okay? One more time. Play it like that, you'll be just fine, okay? Moving on to the next section, section 9. All right, so we just switching from D to E over and over and over again. Gonna have to hold your breath on this one. I hope y'all got them lungs on the horn because you're gonna need them. You're gonna hold your breath on this. That is D, D, E, D, E, D, E, D, E, D, D, E, D, E, D, E, D, E. And it's even harder to make it sound soulful, okay? Because you're gonna be out of breath on this part, okay? I guarantee you're gonna be out of breath. Okay? Here's how that sounds together. So it's D, D, E, D, E, D, E, D, E, D, D, E, D, E. Okay, just going back and forth from D to E. So again, here's how it sounds together. Here's how it sounds on sax. Okay, So that's just D, D, E, back and forth, D, D, E. And you're going to be in there for a little while. So hopefully you got them lungs. You're going to need them, okay, for that part, because you can definitely run out of breath. I would suggest taking your breath, D, D, E, D, E, D, E, D, breath, D, D, E, D, E, D, E, D, breath. Forget that last E, because if I hit that E, I ain't going to be able to hit the next notes. If I give me a little breath, then I can go back into those notes, okay? So you kind of ghost that, if you know what that means. And ghost just means I don't play it. I could just go to the next note and nobody think about it, okay? Nobody thinks about it. Ain't nobody the wiser, okay? All right. So next part, section 10. Okay. Now we get into the next part. So you got G, 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 A. It should be up underneath me on the screen. Section 10 is G, 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 A. Okay. Here's how it sounds on sax. Okay. So make sure I got my. Okay. So I'm. Okay. That's your part. G, 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 A. Okay. Let's go to section 11. All right. Okay. So that is. Okay. Missing a D here, but this section is E, D, and then you go D, E. If I can get the tap, thank you. D, E, D, E. Okay. So it's which is E, D, D, E, D, E. Okay. So pretty much you're going from E to D, but then you switch it up and you go D, E, D, E, because we're back into that. Here's how that sounds on sax. So after your that ba da 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 da, that's E, D, D, E, D, E. Okay. Back into that. Okay, that's section 11 right there. All right. Then we going back to this we going back to alternating again, y'all. Back to alternate. So you do that again. That boo down, do down, do down. That's D, D, E, D, E. We're doing it again. Here's how it sounds on sax. Again, we're just doing that part again. That's how it sounds on sax, okay? All right, moving on to section 13. Okay, so you got the do, 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 do. Okay, let me make sure. Okay, I'm in section 13, making sure. All right, so those notes are D, E, G, A, G, and B, okay? And here's how that sounds together. Hold on. Oh, Lord Jesus, hold on. I'm sorry, I forgot my rhythm, okay? And again, you can go up grace note. So again, it's do-do-do, do-do-do. That's D, E, G, A, G, B, okay? So it's D, E, G, A, G, B. So you play it like this on sax. That's how it sounds. Okay, then you can play it again in section 14. You do the same thing again. D, E, G, A, G, B. Starting from your low D, okay? All right, let's continue on. That's section 14. Now we section 15. All right, and that for me, we're just gonna kind of come down the scale. So we got that do-do-do, which is D, E, G, and then we go to the mid-range D, and we play D, C, B, A, and back to low D, okay? And that's that ba-do-do-do-do, okay? And that's the last part of the song, okay? So we play D, E, G, D, C, B, A, D, okay? D, E, G, D, C, B, A, D, okay? Here's how that sounds together. All right? And after that, you got the whole joint. You got the whole song in your hands once you learn how to play all those parts, okay? Now let's go ahead and put them together. Let's get your demonstration going. Come here. If you like the practice sheet music or the backing track for this lesson, you can find it in the description box. If this lesson helped you in any way, consider subscribing and let me know in the comments what song you'd like me to teach next. Thanks for watching. Now go make that sax speak.
Let sax speak.